Fasting is one of the most powerful tools for fat loss, longevity, and energy. But what if I told you it could actually make you gain weight and inflame you when you do it the wrong way? Yep, a lot of people are practicing fasting and sabotaging the results without even knowing it. So today I am revealing the 7 biggest fasting mistakes that spike insulin, stress your body, and stall your results. This is all taken from my brand new book, Metabolic Freedom. Chapter 8 is all about fasting done the right way and the mistakes people make. I'm gonna outline for you right now. Let's get into the first mistake. That's gonna be fasting without metabolic preparation. I want you to think of fasting as a muscle that you build up over time. If you were a couch potato for 10 years and decide to go run a marathon without training for it, that's gonna be ugly. You're gonna hurt yourself. It's the same thing with fasting. If you start implementing 18-hour fasts, 24-hour fasts, and even longer fasts, but you haven't prepared your metabolism to shift into fat burning mode, it could be a big problem. If you go from sugar burning right into fasting, bad things start to happen inside of your body. Instead of tapping into stored fat, you actually start increasing cortisol to create glucose. And in some cases, if you're a pure sugar burner, you could even tap into muscle. So what I talk about in Metabolic Freedom is first to get fat adapted, to gradually lower your carbohydrate intake from wherever it's at. Usually it's around 300 grams of carbs per day to under 100 or 50 grams of carbs per day. Eliminate the snacking between meals. Then you start to increase your fasting window. Then you'll get the great results, because now at this point, your metabolism will switch to burning fat instead of sugar. You'll produce ketones. You won't have a cortisol response. You won't tap into muscle. Your body's very smart. It knows what to do. But if you go into the fast too soon as a sugar burner, you don't get those results. You actually end up inflaming yourself and increasing glucose. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine that I put in my book, Chapter 8 from 2018, emphasizes that metabolic flexibility is essential for fasting success. Without it, fasting becomes more of a stress than a benefit. So spend 7 days, 1 week. I actually outlined this in the 30-day protocol of the book, Metabolic Freedom. Lowering the carbs, increasing protein and fat, eliminate the snacking, and then you start increasing the fasting window and you'll get all the results that you want to get. Fasting mistake number 2, fasting too long and too often. Too much of a good thing could actually become a bad thing. And I am personally guilty of this because I feel so good during a fast. I'm actually fasted right now. But if you overdo it, it could be problematic. If you're overdoing fasting, like too many extended fasts, 3 days or longer, or 1 meal a day every day for months, you spike cortisol on a daily basis, you lower thyroid function, it could lead to muscle loss because you're in a catabolic state, and it could even slow metabolism. Just as important as the fasting is the feasting. So you want to make sure you're balancing out your fasting window with your feasting window. And you also want to make sure during your eating window, you're getting enough protein. As long as you get enough protein, the fast is going to work for you. You're not going to get those negative effects. So you want to get 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight during that eating window. What does that mean? That means if you currently weigh 190 pounds, but your goal weight, your ideal body weight is 140 pounds, you want to aim to get 140 grams of protein within that eating window. So if you're doing OMAD right now, it's going to be hard to get 140 grams in protein in 1 meal. But if you do an 18-6, meaning 18 hours fasting, a 6-hour eating window with 2 to 3 meals, that gives you enough time to get the protein. So now you're balancing out the fasting, which is more catabolic, and autophagy, which is great in spurts, but you're balancing it out with mTOR, which is anabolic and growth, and you're building up. So you want a good balance of feasting and fasting. Too much fasting too often could be problematic. Mistake number 3, ignoring stress, sleep, and heart rate variability. Fasting is a stressor to your body. It doesn't mean it's bad, because when you adapt to that stressor, it is incredible for weight loss, longevity, inflammation. But if you're already overwhelmed, it may be pushing you over the edge. So here are some signs to pay attention to. Track your HRV, your heart rate variability. I use an Oura ring to track that, and I'll drop a link for them down below. You can use an Apple Watch. I think Fitbit might track it, a Whoop band, whatever HRV monitor. But heart rate variability is looking at your nervous system. And if you see it drop below your average, the fast is too much of a stress. Also, I would recommend testing your blood sugar and blood ketones during your fast. You want to see glucose drop during a fast and ketones rise. That is the sign that you're seeing a good adaptation to that stressor. But if your glucose goes up during a fast, you may want to break the fast and work on stress and sleep. Also pay attention to sleep and mood swings. Pay attention to feeling off, hangry, hungry, and angry, maybe feeling irritable, fatigued, and dizzy during a fast. These are signs that you're not adapting to the fast. You got to work on the stress and then build up the fasting schedule after that. Mistake number 4, skipping breakfast and eating a late dinner. Look, I used to say many years ago that breakfast is the dumbest meal of the day. Skip it, have lunch and dinner instead. And I was wrong because research is actually coming out showing it's better to have breakfast and lunch and skip dinner or have an early dinner. It's much more aligned with your circadian rhythm. In chapter 6 of Metabolic Freedom, I take a deep dive into circadian rhythm. When you're having dinner and eating that dinner late and skipping breakfast, and that's your fasting schedule, to skip breakfast and have dinner, it could actually disrupt sleep, increase blood sugar and insulin, create cortisol spike, fat storage, and even disrupt melatonin production. And that's not good. So I know it might be more difficult with your schedule to have breakfast and lunch and skip dinner, but if you can make that happen on some days, you'll get more results. There was a study done from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, Dr. Courtney Peterson. She took 2 groups of participants. Both were overweight. Everything was controlled in a lab, and they both followed the same fasting schedule. The only difference was that one group had breakfast and lunch and skipped dinner. The other group had lunch and dinner and skipped breakfast. And after 4 days, here's what the study showed. The group that had breakfast and lunch and skipped dinner had 10% more of their sirtuin genes activated, their longevity genes, and 22% more autophagy after 4 days, which is the cellular cleanup process, versus the group that had the same calories but chose to skip breakfast and have dinner. Super cool. In general, you just want to make sure you eat no food at least 3 to 5 hours before bed. If you do that, you're going to get some amazing results with your fasting schedule. Mistake number 5, I kind of referenced this earlier, but not eating enough protein during your eating window. When you're in a constant protein deficit by fasting too much, it'll lead to muscle loss, metabolic slowdown, increased hunger, and cravings. Look, protein helps you maintain your fasting window. Protein builds muscle. It activates hormones and chemicals inside of your body that help you feel full and satiated. And building lean muscle mass is the key to burning fat, longevity. Many studies show, like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed, that low protein intake during fasting contributes to fat gain and muscle loss even when calories are reduced. So again, you want to get 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight. If you're having trouble doing that, at least get 40 to 50 grams of animal-based protein at all of your meals to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Mistake number 6, drinking the wrong liquids during your fast. Just because something is 0 calorie doesn't mean it's fasting safe. Watch out for diet sodas, artificial sweeteners like sucralose and aspartame. Instead, you might want to have stevia and monk fruit, and watch out for flavored electrolyte drinks as well. These can trigger an insulin response and lead to hunger cravings, so you want to avoid those. So stick to, here's what's safe during a fast: water, high quality salt, unflavored electrolytes, black organic coffee, and unsweetened herbal teas. That's safe during a fast. Keep your fast clean, you burn more fat, and avoid gut hormone disruption. Mistake number 7, thinking fasting alone will heal your metabolism. I love fasting. It's powerful, but it's not magical, meaning it's not the only tool in the shed. If you're breaking your fast with processed junk food, sleeping 5 hours a night, and chronically stressed, then fasting can't do its job for you. True metabolic health, metabolic freedom comes from the combination: strategic, responsible fasting, nutrient-dense refeeding, quality sleep and movement, and hormone and gut health. Use fasting as a tool, not a crutch for a poor diet. And look, if you want to learn more about fasting, I want to give you an entire course on the metabolism for free. There are several lessons on fasting in that course, and ketosis, and fat loss, and losing weight without counting calories. We sell this for $1,000. You can get it for free when you order Metabolic Freedom today. Head over to metabolicfreedombook.com or scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description down below. Order the book, put your name, email, and order number, and you'll get instant access to this course on the metabolism with exclusive interviews. Go get the book, go get the course right now. Now let's get to your questions. Can women fast the same way as men, or are there hormonal differences to consider? Ooh, this might be another mistake people make with fasting. Women definitely practice fasting different than men, and I talk about this in the book Metabolic Freedom. And cycling women, women who have a menstrual cycle, practice fasting differently than women who are postmenopausal. Men could get away with more aggressive fasting as long as you're hitting the protein requirement. Menstruating women, I'll give you an example. The week right before your period, 7 days right before your period starts, is the week you do not want to practice too much fasting, too much caloric restriction, or too much ketosis. You actually want to be feasting on protein, healthy carbs, making hormonal conversions, building progesterone, building estrogen for a healthy monthly cycle. The best week for aggressive fasting for women who have a menstrual cycle is the week of your period. Postmenopausal women could fast similar to men only if you are supporting your adrenal glands, getting quality sleep, boosting oxytocin by practicing gratitude, one of the best ways to do that. So postmenopausal women, just make sure you're supporting your adrenal glands. Those are the differences. How should I break a fast properly to avoid weight gain or blood sugar spikes? Here are the 3 best foods to break a fast with. Bone broth. Organic grass-fed bone broth is a terrific way to break your fast. Second option would be scrambled eggs with half avocado, cooked in butter with maybe some arugula. Great way to break a fast. Third option would be a high-quality protein shake. That's grass-fed. I like beef protein isolate. Equipped Foods is my favorite protein shake. They're a great option with unsweetened macadamia nut milk or unsweetened coconut milk and ice. Blend that together. That would be a terrific option to break your fast as well. And you could get Equipped Foods with 20% off over at equippedfoods.com/benazadi. The coupon code is automatically applied. We'll drop that link in the notes down below. If I exercise, when should I time my fasts or meals? Personally, I do 95% of all my workouts fasted because I'm metabolically flexible, I'm getting good sleep. And if you're metabolically flexible and you get good sleep, then do fasted workouts. You'll get more benefits, more fat loss, more autophagy. But if you're kind of stressed right now, not getting quality sleep, it's not a good idea to add a fasting workout. You might want to change the schedule around to do your workouts in a fed state. Can I still drink bone broth or add collagen during my fast? Technically, this breaks a fast. It's called a partial fast. So the answer is no. But if you want to use it as a crutch before you start doing clean fasting, I'm okay with that. I can tell you that MCT oil does not break a fast and apple cider vinegar does not break a fast. They actually support a fast. So you could put that in your coffee or tea or unsweetened herbal drinks, and that'll be totally fine to have during a fast. Is fasting safe if I have thyroid issues, adrenal fatigue, or take medication? Well, I cannot discuss the medication part. That's between you and your prescribing doctor, but I can tell you that I've worked with thousands of clients all across the world, many of which who have had adrenal issues, thyroid issues, underactive thyroid, and we use fasting as an amazing tool for them as long as we still work on their sleep and they get that high quality protein during their eating window. It can work magnificently. Bottom line is this: fasting is like a chainsaw. A chainsaw is a wonderful tool that can get you amazing results if you've read the user manual. Same thing with fasting. Amazing tool to get you amazing results if you've read the user manual. I want to give you the user manual. Go order my book, Metabolic Freedom, to learn more about fasting the right way. There's a 30-day plan where I show you exactly how to fast, how to feast. Do this for 30 days. You're going to burn fat. I had a gentleman, John Miller, follow this plan, and he lost 44 pounds in 30 freaking days. Pretty cool. I'm not saying you're going to lose 44 pounds, but you're going to lose some weight, feel good, lower inflammation, and extend your lifespan. You can get the book over at metabolicfreedombook.com. Along with the book purchase, you'll get a free course on the metabolism that has exclusive interviews. So go to metabolicfreedombook.com, scan the QR code, or click the link in the notes down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Share this episode with a friend. I'll see you on the next one. And hey, if you love this episode, you're going to love a recent video I just published titled Better Than Ozempic. Drink 1 cup of this every day to stop cravings and burn fat. Check out what I'm referring to. Here's a clip, and I'll see you in that video. In this lesson, I'll share with you 5 powerful drinks, each backed up by human research that support appetite control, metabolic health, and sustained weight loss. Coffee is naturally thermogenic, meaning your metabolism burns more calories throughout the day, even at rest after you drink a cup of coffee.